Well, that's how to pack in a lot for one episode. Episode 9, Beyond the Wilds. It starts out with some people being led on a tour through some of the spirit forests in Republic City, but then all these people start being taken by the spirit vines. Jinora finds Korra saying that she's felt some interesting spiritual energy, so they go and investigate. Korra tries out that new technique she learned looking through spirit vines to see people, and doesn't find the tour group, but sees Kuvira taking down the big spirit tree in the swamp. So that panics her, so her, Opal, and Jinora head to President Raiko to tell him the news. Little do they know, once they get there, Tenzin and some of the other world leaders are already meeting with him, including Prince Wu, about what to do. Korra feels kind of upset, and I think rightly so, since she's the Avatar, that she wasn't invited into this party. The world leaders basically decide to not take any offensive action, but then Varric and Bolin show up with the news of the spirit weapons. This puts everyone kind of like, what to do? Lin Beifong talks to Opal about how Raiko isn't going to take any offensive action right now against Kuvira without knowing exactly what her plans are. So her and Opal plan to do a covert mission into Zaofu to free their family. All this while, Jinora is still looking for the tour group, but then she gets taken by some spirit vines. She sends a message to Korra, so Korra and Mako head out into the spirit wilds to try and find Jinora and the others. They do find them, but they're all trapped within these spirit vines, and Korra realizes that they're actually trapped in the spirit world. Korra tries to meditate to enter the spirit world and free them, but flashbacks of what happened with her and Zahir come up and prevent her from doing so. Then we have one of my favorite scenes in this episode. Raiko enlisting the help of Varric and Asami to help create defenses for this spirit weapon. It's so funny because Varric had betrayed Asami in the previous seasons and basically almost ruined her entire company. So it's really fun seeing those two, now that Varric's had a change of heart, agreeing to put up with each other enough to work together. Then we get the climax of this episode. Korra wants to go confront Zahir, thinking that maybe if she sees him locked up and put away in prison, that will give her peace, that he cannot hurt her any longer. So reluctantly, Tenzin agrees to do so. So Korra heads into the prison, and it's pretty cool, like really secluded, built away. You really get the sense that this is deep in this mountain where he's being kept. And then she sees him, and it's a pretty great character reveal. Him just completely chained up but still floating in the air. Korra realizes she's still afraid of him. But then a really interesting twist happens. Korra lets it slip what's been happening in the Earth Kingdom in Kuvira due to the fact that Zahir had taken out the Earth Queen 3 years ago. And Zahir seems very troubled by this, that because of his actions there's a new dictator. This made a lot of sense to me, and it was a really neat character moment because looking back, Zahir had wanted equality. He didn't want any one person to have power over another. So now realizing that he has created a monster in Kuvira, or given at least the opportunity for her to be created, he feels somewhat guilty, I think. So Zahir agrees to bring Korra into the spirit world and basically do a little teaching for her to help her overcome her block. Korra at first is reluctant, but then realizes, well, what have I got to lose? What do I do? She goes for it, and Zahir guides her into the spirit world. Korra starts flashing back to that moment where she fought Zahir and almost died, but Zahir calmingly and almost encouraging and lovingly brings her through that and guides her to a place of inner balance. So once in the spirit world, Korra finds all the entrapped people and frees them. Then we cut to Lin and Opal getting ready to head off on their mission to free their family. Bolin shows up and agrees to help, basically. My favorite moment is still that Zahir had to be the one to guide Korra into her inner peace and inner balance. I thought that was really great. It was an excellent visual representation of having to confront those specific emotions by having to confront the actual person. All the pieces seem to be just being put into place, and we're ready for this to just come to a head and have an epic conclusion that I hope rivals any that we've had in Avatar history. So those are my thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.